Well, all right, y'all, welcome back. So I'm up here in Neligh, Nebraska, and I am at the Neligh Mill State Historic Site. If you can see right there, we've got a big historical marker here. I'll go ahead and read that to you guys. I know some of you like to see the sign while I'm reading it, so we'll see if we can do that. It says the Neligh Mills. The Neligh Mills, built from locally fired brick in 1873 by John D. Neligh, was the first business and industry in the newly platted town. Later owners and operators of the mill included William C. Galloway, Stephen F. Gilman, and J.W. Spirk. Milling operations began in 1874 with 2 runs of stone. Roller mills were added in 1878, and all new roller mills were installed in 1898. Flour from the Neligh Mills was widely sold throughout the Middle West. Better known brands produced here include Neligh Patent Flour, Solite Flour, and Crescent brand feeds. A good mill was a major factor in the growth of Nebraska communities during the 1870s and 1880s. Mills turned locally grown grain into flour, cutting down on expensive long-distance shipping. Mills with an ample water supply and situated on main rail lines were able to produce quantities in excess of local needs. And sometimes received lucrative government contracts with the Army and Indian Bureau for our overseas exports. In 1969, the legislature authorized the Nebraska State Historical Society to acquire and preserve this mill as a symbol of our agricultural history. Its importance was also recognized in 1969 by entry on the National Register of Historic Places. I don't know how well I did showing that to you guys while I was reading it, but as you can see, they got a whole mill here. This little deal, we're on a creek right here. Oh, that was a way station right there. I think I need to go inside and maybe pay for this. We shall see.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Interested in seeing the mill today?
Yeah, just walking around.
Okay. Could we get you to just sign the guest book, please?
Yep.
That's how they like to keep track of their visitors.
Is today the 27th?
Yes. Have you been here before?
No, I have not.
Okay. What we have here is the only 19th century flour mill in Nebraska that still contains the original flour milling equipment inside of it today. It is 152 years old. We're operated by the Nebraska State Historical Society. Okay. There's no charge to go through the mill. If people wish to make donations, they're welcome to do so. You've got the option of a guided tour through the mill that will last about 35 minutes, or a self-guided tour where you go at your own pace and spend however long or little you wish to be.
I'll just do a self-guided if that's fine.
And there's some exhibits, displays, and a short video in that far east room of the mill as well.
Okay.
And I'll stop by in a few minutes, see if you have any questions on anything.
All right.
You don't have to, but if you're interested, you're able to borrow one of these books there.
Yeah, I'll take that with me,
Yeah.
just for some information.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
You got it.
All right, so if you could hear what he said in there, this place has been here for a while. Obviously the sign said the same thing, but he gave me a book so I can kind of check this out. If you guys want to come out here, they do guided tours also, if you heard that. So anyways, here's the mill, and we're right on the, I believe it's the Elkhorn River right there. No, there's another sign down there. We're gonna have to check it out, but we'll head on in here and see what this is all about. All right. Oh, they've got millstone. There's a millstone right there. I've visited a couple of different mills on the channel so far. One down in Kansas, and then we went to the big windmill mill in Iowa. And you've got a little bit of information here. It says a boxcar of flour was produced every day during the mill's most active around-the-clock operations. And there's another picture of the river back there in the mill. So I'm right here in the state. The other place where the other mill was at, he was talking about his West Point right here, and I live down here. Different milling equipment. And you can see like the big rolling wheels on this machinery, and same thing up there. Oh, and right here on the outside, there's one there. So everything would have been ran with like big leather straps that went to a central, probably like a steam engine that turned, and then it turned everything else. Oh, and then these things would grab the grains or whatever and take it up to the top, and then this would run, and then the flour would get milled on the top floor or whatever and came down and down, and you can see the big leather straps here. So maybe what they were running everything with was downstairs. It's really cool machinery. And even in here, that's all these things I think may have had that. No, these look like just chutes. Oh, and they had steam power in here. It's cool to see the old dial still in here. And an old inspection report. This is from 1922. Oh, look at the old vehicle. We should go upstairs first, though. I think there might be some other people in here, actually. Such cool old equipment. And like a lot of this stuff wouldn't pass any OSHA safety today with just big exposed rollers and things like that. Just take your fingers right off. And it's hard to see, but it's just a maze of pipes that go up and down. Or, I mean, it's all made out of wood. But there's another big leather strap. There's another big roller wheel. There's tons and tons of equipment. And yeah, all sorts of different ways for the grain to move up and down all over the place. Big auger. All of these are tubes that the grain would have gone up and down in, probably just down. I can't go into the next room. Don't know what's over there. Can I reach up above it? I can't see it. I don't know what's over there. I can't see that high. It's always wild for me when you come to places like this, just to think how long it's been standing here. And like these, you know, they laid these bricks in the 1800s. It's kind of crazy to think about how old it is. All right, up to the third floor. Just a complete maze of stuff. So those things look like they're dust collectors. Sifter, plain sifter, flour dresser, wheat scourer, enrichment feeder, corn elevator head house, which is on the roof. Got some old writing on here. I'm curious, like, how old that is. There's a plains sifter. I think maybe it was pumped up here and this is where it started at, and it was sifted and then went down. You can see that would have spun. This one's got the lid on it. It would have been wild to see something like this in operation, or like be in here. I imagine it was so incredibly noisy. And just the fact that this is all made out of wood. So dust collection and things like that were very important because the dusty environment can explode very quickly. I think I might be able to get to the other side. We'll get through here. Oh, look at that old repair to that leather strap. And like, there's still just remnants of stuff on here, and even down in there, like remnants of the old flour. Yeah, it's just kind of a maze. Nathan, does that say Nathan? Jonathan Mills Universal Flower Dresser, manufactured by the Prospect Machine and Engineering Company, Cleveland, Ohio. And yeah, just all these gears and everything. Big hoppers. The mill, built in 1873, is the only 19th century flour mill in the state with all of its original equipment intact. The mill building itself consists of 3 floors and a basement, which are accessible by stairs. Display panels located on each floor explain machinery location and give general overview of the activities carried out in that area. Well, let's head back downstairs. Oh, I missed that on the way up. Look at the fire extinguisher. That's cool.
How you doing?
Good.
Any questions?
No, not really.
Yep, one of the more interesting things also that people don't realize, there's a flour bag down there, And that's a gold medal flour bag.
From like an original one
Yeah,
from here?
yeah.
Okay.
And General Mills paid him $5,000 for the sole copyright of gold medal flour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a panel.
I'll go down there and check it out. So is this what they're considering the basement room?
No,
No?
this is a 1915 power plant edition
Okay.
that you see there.
Oh, this was it here then.
Yes.
Was that like a big steam or?
3-cylinder, 225 horsepower diesel engine.
Oh, wow.
That operated generators for producing power for not only the mill, but the city of Neligh.
So prior to that, did they just use the water then to power the mill?
Yes, but they also produced their own hydroelectric power.
Okay.
Because between 1900 to 1920, this mill was one of the top 10 largest mills in Nebraska, having a peak production of 98,000 pounds of flour per day.
Wow.
Which was enough to fill up a boxcar every day full of flour. But to make that much flour, they would have 2 12-hour working shifts.
So they just ran it 24/7.
Yeah. And they would produce their own hydroelectric power so they could have lights when they operated at night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's the
Yeah.
gold medal flour. Wow. Can I go into the basement in here or no?
What?
Can I go into the basement
Yeah.
here? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see the stairs, I guess. And there it is. Old rig.
That truck was made in Lincoln, Nebraska.
At the Havelock thing. I didn't know they made them there. That's cool.
The basement steps are on the south side of
Okay.
the first floor.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I had no idea. I'll read this sign to you. It's Patriot Trucks. I honestly can't say I've ever heard of them before, but the Heb Motor Company and Patriot Motors in Havelock, which is Havelock and Lincoln. The Patriot truck is one of the few vehicles produced in Nebraska that developed a nationwide reputation. Its ability to handle heavy loads under harsh conditions made it a popular for both farm and delivery work. During World War I, Lincolnite A.G. Heb manufactured wooden truck bodies for Ford vehicles. In 1917, he developed the Patriot's prototype with engineers in Detroit. Created in 1918, the Heb Motors Company factory was built in Havelock. The company reincorporated as Patriot Motors in March of 1920 with ambitious plans for expansion. This coincided with an economic downturn, and unpaid creditors meant the company declared bankruptcy in November. Man, they didn't even last a year. Reorganized as the Patriot Manufacturing Company in 1921, it produced the 3 truck models until 1924, when the Woods Brothers Company acquired control. That's crazy. And here's a couple pictures of it. The factory's previous Lincoln locations include buildings at 12th and Q Streets, 10th and Vine Streets, and 26th and X Streets. The Havelock building is currently part of the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. I was going to say, now I want to go find where this is at, but I don't think I'd be able to get into it. Yeah, it's cool. There's another picture of it. Patriot. Do not touch. Yeah, that's cool. I'm learning new things. A bunch of different flour bags. Norfolk Cereal and Flour Mill. So Norfolk, Nebraska, Lynch, Nebraska, Nebraska City, Ravenna, Nebraska, Pierce, and what is that one? Kearney. So there was a bunch of mills back in the day. And there's a lot of information here. Alaska flour, yeah, it's cool that they've got all these old school mill bags here, and there's a couple more millstones. That drawing is from an 1875 map of the area. All right, let's see if we can go find the stairs and check out the basement. Can't get through there. It is a maze in here, that's for sure. Wonder when these were put up. Does any of them say a date? No? Yeah, there's no dates, but these are old cartoons out of, oh, that one says 1902. 1932? Maybe 1932. Little bell. Where am I missing the stairs? Oh, there's the Miller shack. Old artwork hanging on the walls. He said it was here in the first floor. Probably because I just walked right by. Makes sense. That's an old boiler. And then I assume this was open down here at one point and everything went out to the floor and maybe was taken out on some kind of conveyor. And they probably filled that in. Yeah, just an old boiler. Filled it with fire under there. That might have been like coal over there. Can't open that up. All right, let's head outside. Little lantern. I gotta get a picture of that. That's neat. Oh yeah, so when they were doing the hydroelectric, it would have came up and attached somehow to this one, so it had to have like spun or turned or whatever, and then this would have turned all the pulleys and everything in there. There was a couple of different things here that aren't here anymore. And you can see some spots like there used to be a window that's no longer there. The door, it's no longer there. Wonder if there's water in here. Man, just huge gears. It almost sounds like there's water running underneath of this thing, but it's dry. Oh, I think they've got something that pumps the water out, yeah, so it doesn't fill up. So the water would have been diverted, and then you have these gates right here, and it would have ran through and spun the water wheel and come out down there somewhere. But obviously they aren't using this anymore. Check out the sign here. That just tells a little bit about the donors. So the Neligh Mill Bridge. With the establishment of the Neligh Mill and the platting of the town of Neligh, a crossing of the Elkhorn River here aided farm-to-market commerce. This bridge, built in 1910, replaced an earlier span at this location. It is a pin-connected Pratt through truss and a mainstay of early Nebraska wagon bridges. It serves as a reminder of a bridge's importance to the development of Nebraska towns, commerce, and industry. The bridge is listed in the National Register of Historic Places. It's wild to me that they actually still have it open to be able to drive over. Take a little bit of a wander though. It says it was damaged in a flood in 2010 and they fixed everything. But it's still just a wooden bridge. There's a big city park over there where you can camp at. It's not where I plan to camp tonight. And if you watch the last video of me at the drive-in movie theater, here in Neligh, Nebraska is one of the other drive-ins in Nebraska, Starlight Drive-In. So if you wanted to plan a trip out here, you could go to the drive-in, you could come check out the mill. Like I said, there is a campground here in town that you can stay at, and you could overall make a weekend out of it. But the Elkhorn River, and you can fish here for sure. All right, I gotta go take his booklet back to him, and then we'll get hopped in the old rig and get headed out. Really cool spot. Alrighty. Well, I gotta see how far away my planned camp spot's at. Should be a spot where I don't think anybody else will be, but I don't think there's any actual like camping spots technically there. So about a 40-minute drive. Is it gonna take me over the bridge? No, it's not. Although I could go right over the bridge. I'm gonna take the bridge. All right, let's drive over this bridge that's been here for 100 years.
Continue for half a mile.
How cool is that? I love it that they keep these things going, you know, in a society where we tend to just throw things away and start over. You got to keep the old junk going, because the old junk's cool, like this van. Oh, there's another old bridge up here. This is also a wood deck. There's somebody coming right at me. I'm going first. This one's a little bit more rough. So it doesn't look like there's any water running through here, just in puddles. All right, well, I've got a 43-minute drive. I'll see you guys at the camp spot. There's actually somebody out here on a boat. Guy going down that direction. Oh, there is actually a campsite in here. All right, we've made it to a spot. Bunch of firewood here, and I'm really kind of out in the middle of nowhere here. There is a lake out here, but pretty much inaccessible unless you have a boat. And there is actually somebody out here on a boat. I was kind of surprised to see somebody out here, but sounds like they might be coming this direction. Must be a good pike population in this spot. Oop, something just swam away. Yeah, the whole bank of this thing is covered in reeds all the way around, if you can see it. And it's pretty nasty looking, actually. It's probably clearer once you get out there a little bit farther, but there'd be no bank fishing here. Like, you could stand on the dock, but you'd be casting into nothing but weeds. It'd be really difficult without a boat here. But I bet the fishing here is probably good, considering I'm out in the middle of nowhere. And there ain't no bank fishing, so you gotta have a boat to be out here. But yeah, the camp spot's kind of nice. I don't know if I'm actually supposed to be parked on the grass here or not. But there's no signs that say you can't. So we're set up to do what we're doing. I'm gonna go ahead and get myself a fire going for this evening, and we'll get some dinner cooked up. 2 seconds I've had this door open, there's already flies in there. But if you can see, they're all over, like all over the hood. Like I've said before, I think flies like white vehicles. Maybe I'm wrong, but we got the old lime LaCroix because nowhere around here had any liquid death. So it just is what it is. But I like lime, so it's good stuff. Give you guys a little temp check. It's currently 78 degrees, so it feels really nice out here, and we have a low of 57 tonight. So we're in our, like, what you would probably call false fall, because it's going to warm back up a little bit. I'm sure it'll get back into the 80s at least, but thoroughly enjoying this weather while I can. It was stoked to see the mill, man. That was a really cool spot. Always love the history. If I remember right, I'll leave links to the other couple mills that I've seen, the one down in Kansas and the one in Iowa. The one in Iowa is really cool because it's actually an old windmill, a big Danish windmill. But fire's chooching. Use some of this stuff that was left here. Probably gonna take a while to burn. Should have probably just put my own stuff on there because we got to cook on that tonight. It'll be all right though. Yo, the flies are insane out here. All over the van. They're all over that, if you can see them down there. They're swarming me. I mean, they're on my feet, they're on my pants. I can't sit here for 2 seconds without swatting. They're on my back. I gotta get in the van, man. They're just insane. And the Thermacell doesn't do anything for flies. It's just like mosquitoes and gnats and stuff. Got that bug zapper fly swatter, but that ain't gonna do nothing out here. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta get in the van. And yeah, I can't sit here for 2 seconds without swatting a fly off of me. It's insane. I don't know how I'm gonna cook. We might end up with a bag meal out of the box. We'll see. But I can't sit out here any longer. They're driving me crazy, biting my arms, back of my neck. Got 2 of them in the van. Battery. Normally it's not that bad, man, but they're just going crazy out here. I better get my tote, let that fire burn out. I gotta get in the van. Get them all off of here first. Go away. Oh, man. That's crazy, dude. I don't know if I've ever seen that many flies before. They just won't leave you alone out there. I know there was a couple in here that got in just for me getting my drink earlier. To see if I can get them out. I don't know where they're at. At least get my windows open. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do for dinner. I plan to make some chicken, but I don't really feel like frying it in that pan in here. That's not going to work for what I have, so I think we're going to just get ourselves a dinner out of the box here. So I'm getting hungry anyways. Let me get all my junk plugged in here. At least it's a nice day. I'm pretty bummed if it was super hot. I had to get in here already. But this won't be too bad. Let's see what I've got in here. Now I've got 2 Mountain House meals. Got chicken and dumplings, so I guess I could stick with the chicken. And pasta primavera. Do we do chicken and dumplings or pasta primavera? They're both Mountain House. I think I'm going to go with the chicken and dumplings tonight. It's always good to have a couple of these things with you. And these things have been floating around in here for quite a while. I also have this, which why don't we give some of this a try? Kangaroo jerky. This was sent in a long time ago. And it's made out of kangaroo meat. Kangaroo, brown sugar, teriyaki sauce. We'll give that a try. Just to have something a little funky with our chicken and dumplings. All I need is Wowda. I'm all kind of out of whack now that I'm not outside cooking. That's what I plan to do, but spoon. Sure brought some hot sauce with me. I don't think I got any in here. No. Still hear the old cicadas out there though. Need that right now. I don't know if there's a I don't know if there's a fly repellent you can actually use. But it would have been beneficial, I guess. Yeah, I have at least, there's one flying around right there. I'll have to get that zapper out because that should be able to get them in here. Should be enough. I haven't had one of these. God, I can't even remember the last time I ate one. The breakfast ones are good. Gotta find the flavor packet. There we go. It's got veggies in there. Try some of this kangaroo. I don't know, they raise kangaroos on farms to make jerky out of them. Tastes pretty normal to me. I don't think anybody would be able to tell what this is if you gave it to them. Not bad. Ah. You can already smell that cooking. All right. 5 minutes, open, stir, reseal, let stand 4 more minutes. Should be good. Go away, fly. God dang. Hopefully it's got good battery to it. Got you. There's one on the dashboard. Set this up here. See him right there. Don't want to like smash my dashboard. I'm gonna set her there. See what this guy is all about. These are usually pretty good. I mean, it smells good. It's a little runnier than I expected, but I didn't exactly measure my water amount. Now, as good as they taste, they typically don't look the greatest. But chicken and dumplings. That's good. Like, I don't think I've ever had one of these mountain houses that I haven't enjoyed. Like I said, the breakfast ones are good. Biscuits and gravy, the breakfast scramble. There's a chili mac one that's really good. I really just wish I had hot sauce. I should have grabbed some hot sauce. No, but I got something else we can try. It's been floating around in the box for a while. If I remember correctly, these were sent in quite a while ago too. Just haven't really had the opportunity to try them. Extreme Carolina Reaper cashews? Or are they just almonds? Carolina Reaper almonds. It says they're super hot. Guess we'll get ourselves a little bit of spice. I know there's some meals out there where they put like almonds and nuts in chicken meals. Let's see what these are about. That's got a kick to it. It's good. It's kind of sweet. A little salty. I like that. I figured out, because I thought there was only a couple of flies in here and I kept seeing them. I had my stupid wing window open up there. I always drive around with that thing open. And I forgot to close it when I got here because I'm an idiot. These are good. I wouldn't say extreme, but they're probably going to make me break a sweat. I like that. And speaking of chicken and dumplings, it reminds me of what's going on in the, I don't know if you'd say in the news lately, but if you guys haven't seen all the stuff with Cracker Barrel, or as I love to refer to it as Honky Bucket, they went up, they were going to change their logo, dude, and there was this major public backlash. And they just announced that they've caved and they're going to go back to the old logo. I don't know where in their mind they thought it was the smart thing to do in the first place, but I do think it's kind of funny that it's like one of the best things about the internet is that the masses' voice can actually be heard, I guess. Yeah, there's flies just on every window. Wild. There's one right there. I don't know why there seems to be so many. Get away. I don't know why there's so many more here than anywhere else I feel like I've ever been to. There's one right there. Yeah, I was dumb. Left that window open. That's how they were getting in. Once the sun starts going down and they could actually see the UV light on that electrified fly swatter, they'll go towards it. But definitely my fault for leaving that wing window open. Well, nothing fancy for dinner. Unless you consider the kangaroo meat to be the fancy thing, but it was tasty nonetheless. Hang out. All right. Spent a little bit of time staring at my phone. I'm going to get myself a movie going on the old tube. See what I've even got on here. Temperature seems to be dropping a little bit. It's probably been an hour or so since dinner. It's getting dark out. I can see out there. Camera's not picking it up, but I gotta do a software update on this thing one of these days. Ooh, I know what I'm gonna watch. It's a good old school flick. We got Radio on here. Let you guys know what that's about. So it's from 2003. In a racially divided town, Coach Jones, played by Ed Harris, spots a mentally disabled African-American student named Radio, played by Cuba Gooding Jr., near his practice field and is inspired to befriend him. Soon Radio is Jones' loyal assistant, and Principal Daniels happily notes that Radio's self-confidence is skyrocketing. But things start to sour when Jones begins taking guff from fans who feel that his devotion to Radio is getting in the way of the team's quest for championship. And I feel like it's a true story. Yes, the movie Radio is based on a true story about the relationship between T.L. Hanna High School football coach Harold Jones and James Robert Radio Kennedy, a young man with an intellectual disability. The film was inspired by Gary Smith's 1996 Sports Illustrated article, Someone to Lean On, and dramatizes the real events of the friendship and the radio's integration into the community. And he got the name Radio because he's always got a radio with him.
Now the hospital's got me working 16 straight, right through Christmas Day. Just tonight I get a little bit of holiday.
Great flick. I forgot at the end that they showed actual footage and stuff of the real Radio. So that's cool. It's always cool when they do that in like the true story movies. But it's time for bed. Did bring a hoodie with me? I don't think I'm gonna need that though. But sulky's off. Need to put my bigger blanket back in here. Know which way this thing is supposed to go. There we go. Alright, good night, y'all. I'll see you in the morning. Well, I didn't get eaten alive by the fly last night, so that's a plus. Mothman didn't get me either. Oh. I did get a mosquito bite or something on my arm though, I don't know. There's already like 3, 4 flies. They're on the outside. There's one in here. There's another one. There's another one. Insane how many flies are out here. Like, I've never been anywhere like this where the flies have been so dang thick. There you go.
was hoping I'd be able to open my doors up this morning and just hang out for a bit. But yeah, like I can just see them right there. I can see one on the back window. It's crazy. Dang old, crazy old flies and things. Oh. Get out of here, dude. What are you doing, huh? I need to make some coffee. Coffee is served. Go with this, I grab these. So it's fruit Danish. Aren't these called kolaches? Or am I tripping? I don't know. That one looks like blueberry and maybe lemon. Doesn't tell you. It just says assorted. Yeah, I could have swore these are called kolaches. I can't tell what it is. It looks tasty, man. Shazam. That's good stuff. Makes me wonder if the flies are that bad, like when you're out on the water, or if it's just because I'm kind of back here in these trees. Easily the worst bug experience I think I've had. Yeah, I can count. There's one right there on the inside. Not on the inside, but like in the screen. I bet the whole side of the van is covered in them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're gonna get me. Other than the flies, it was a beautiful night. Can't complain. And I enjoyed the mill tour. It's funny, I was talking to my wife and told her I found that spot. And she said that's the only place she remembers going to as a kid for a school field trip. Like, remembers what was inside of it and whatnot. We never went there. I remember going to the state capitol as a kid, and we did like the state. I think we went to the state fair, which I'm pretty sure that's going on right now. I should go to that. Although I think this is it. I think I missed the week of it. It's the end of the week, and then there's a fly right there on the inside. That one's in here. But I remember going to the state capitol. For some reason, I feel like they took us to the zoo too, but I don't know. Anyways. I think I'm just going to go ahead and close this one out here, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a like for the flies to leave me alone. And as always, stay tuned for the next adventure. I'll see you in a bit.